I should probably identify myself here as we go into part 2 of the introduction, at least on the video camera. My name is Phil Venditti. I've been teaching public speaking and other communication courses here at Clover Park Technical College in Lakewood, Washington for 8 years now. I had been a community college administrator for close to 15 years prior to that, and have found that I really love teaching public speaking. Those of you who are listening to this probably can identify with that, whether you were ever an administrator or not, but I have a feeling I'm speaking to a lot of people who do love what they're doing. Let me move into some theoretical and philosophical considerations that are overarching in the sense that I believe they need to be taken into account, at least by myself, before I do anything in the classroom, before I do any lesson planning or assignments or assessments of any sort. Without these theoretical underpinnings, I think that what I do in a class would be pretty vapid. It might be structured, but it might not be to the benefit of my students or myself in the long run. If you don't want to listen to my philosophy, please skip forward either in the written format or on the audio and video to the part where I talk about logistical considerations. But I think that if you do stick with me now, you'll be able to better appreciate and accept and understand what I say later on in the teacher's guide. All right, one of the first things I should say is that I think theory, again, is important. Kurt Lewin, a great theorist, psychologist, social psychologist, and theorist of group behavior, said that there's nothing so practical as a good theory. I have to agree with him. Let me tell you just very briefly about my philosophy of education and how it underlies what I'm doing in CMST ampersand 220. My basic philosophy of education is that education is the best and perhaps the only way for equality of opportunity and freedom to manifest themselves in a society. I support the Open Course Library project and have participated in it eagerly because I think it is in line with that philosophy. It is based on some of the ideas enunciated in international conferences, which have suggested that all educational resources should be equally available to people regardless of their location, regardless of their social status, regardless of their financial resources. So I regard education as the key to social advancement, to international development, to peace, and to the survival of our species, really. I can't say enough about how valuable and important I believe education is. Along these same lines, I should say that I particularly value and cherish the opportunity to work in the American two-year college system. Those of you who've read about or worked in two-year colleges understand that we really consider ourselves part of a movement that started a little bit more than 100 years ago, at least in the United States, and whose original intent may not have been quite as democratizing as it is now, but which has transformed